What if I told you that somewhere in the American desert, there's a hole in a wall of solid rock big enough to swallow the U.S. Capitol building whole, dome and all, with room to spare? Nobody built it. No engineer signed off on it. Water did this. Just water and about 200 million years of patience. And it's not the only one. Across 5 states, America is hiding a set of stone bridges so massive, so old, and so strange that most people have never heard of a single one of them. By the end of this video, you will have. Here's something most people get wrong. A natural arch and a natural bridge are not the same thing. An arch can be carved by wind, frost, or flaking rock over thousands of years. A true natural bridge is carved by flowing water, a stream or river that, over unimaginable stretches of time, drills straight through solid stone. Every formation on this list today is a genuine water-carved bridge, verified by the National Park Service or state geological surveys. We're counting them down from 5 to 1, ending with the largest one in the country. Let's start in the Green Hills of Kentucky.
National Park number 5, Natural Bridge, Kentucky. Our countdown begins in the Appalachian foothills of eastern Kentucky, inside the Daniel Boone National Forest, where the Red River has spent roughly 1 million years slicing through sandstone to create the Red River Gorge, one of the greatest concentrations of natural arches anywhere east of Utah. This is Natural Bridge, the centerpiece of Natural Bridge State Resort Park, a 78-foot sandstone arch standing 65 feet tall, about 12 feet thick and 20 feet wide across the top. It formed as wind and water slowly hollowed out the softer rock beneath a harder cap layer. Visitors have been walking across its top for well over a century. Back in 1895, a railroad company realized the arch itself could be an attraction and built a rail line just to bring tourists here. By 1926, it had become one of Kentucky's first 4 state parks. Today, you can still hike to it or take a sky lift straight over the treetops. It's the smallest bridge on our list today, but it's also proof that you don't need Utah's scale to feel something ancient beneath your feet. National Park number 4, Natural Bridge, Alabama. Next, we head south to Winston County, Alabama, where a rust-red bridge of sandstone and iron stretches 148 feet across a shaded forest hollow, rising 60 feet above the ground. Look closely and you'll see dark streaks of iron ore woven through the sandstone. The same mineral bands that have helped hold this 2-span bridge together for 200 million years. Walking on top of the bridge isn't allowed, but walking beneath it is where the real view is. This has been a privately owned park, open to visitors since 1954, and a small stream still runs underneath. A quiet reminder of the water that shaped this place long before anyone built a trail to it. Locals will proudly tell you this is the longest natural bridge east of the Rocky Mountains. Independent surveyors measure it a little differently, but after 200 million years, Alabama has earned the right to brag a little. National Park number 3, Natural Bridge, Virginia. In Virginia's Shenandoah Valley stands a bridge that once made the list of the 7 natural wonders of the world. At 215 feet tall with a 90-foot span, it's taller than Niagara Falls, and cars drive over it every single day without most drivers even realizing it. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, Cedar Creek carved an underground cave through this limestone. Eventually, the cave's roof collapsed, everywhere except this one stretch which held. The Monacan Indian nation held this surviving span sacred long before European settlers arrived, calling it the Bridge of God. In 1774, Thomas Jefferson bought this bridge and 157 acres around it for the modern equivalent of pocket change, 20 shillings. He called it the most sublime of nature's works. Local tradition even holds that a young surveyor named George Washington carved his initials into the rock wall back in 1750, more than 2 decades earlier. Here's the part that gets people every time. U.S. Route 11 runs straight across the top. Drivers cross this 215-foot natural wonder every day, and most of them have no idea it's even there. National Park number 2, Natural Bridges National Monument, Utah. In 1908, Theodore Roosevelt looked at 3 enormous stone bridges hidden in the canyons of southeastern Utah and decided they needed protecting immediately. A gold prospector named Cass Height had stumbled onto them back in 1883 and National Geographic magazine made them famous nationwide in 1904. Within 4 years, this became Utah's very first national monument, and today, it's also one of the darkest places in America to see the night sky. This is Sipapu, Hopi for Place of Emergence. At 268 feet across and 220 feet high, it's the second largest natural bridge in the entire country. The National Park Service has a fun way of putting its size in perspective. The dome of the U.S. Capitol building could almost fit underneath it. A short hike away stands Kachina, 210 feet high, 204 feet long, and the youngest, thickest, most massive of the three. In 1992, an estimated 4,000 tons of rock crashed down from its underside in a single moment, a stark reminder that these bridges are still very much alive, geologically speaking. And finally, Awachomo, the oldest of the three, spanning 180 feet and standing 106 feet high, but worn down to just 9 feet thick at its center. It's the most delicate bridge on this entire list. One day, maybe soon in geological terms, gravity will finally win. National Park Number 1, Rainbow Bridge National Monument, Utah. And now, the largest natural bridge in America, and one of the largest ever measured on Earth. Most visitors reach it by a long boat ride through a narrow side canyon off Lake Powell. The truly determined instead hike nearly 14 miles through Navajo Nation land. Permit required. Either way, you can't see it coming, and then all at once it's just there. 290 feet tall, 275 feet across. At its top, the arch itself is over 40 feet thick. To put that another way, the U.S. Capitol building could stand underneath this bridge, and there'd still be room above the dome. Long before any outsider discovered it in 1909, the Navajo, Paiute, and Puebloan peoples already knew this place well. The outside world only found it because native guides Jim Mike and Nasha Begay led explorer John Wetherill straight to it, and a year later, in 1910, President William Howard Taft made it a national monument. The Navajo call it Namnazash, rainbow turned to stone, and consider it sacred ground. The National Park Service asks every visitor today to treat it with the same respect. Every bridge on this list is temporary, carved by water, and one day unmade by it. But for now, they stand. 5 quiet monuments to just how much time and patience it takes to turn a river into a doorway. From a quiet forest arch in Kentucky to a 290-foot giant in the Utah desert, these 5 bridges prove that some of the most incredible architecture in America was never built by anyone at all. So, which one would you actually want to stand under? Tell me in the comments. And if this journey across America's stone bridges was worth your time, hit subscribe. There are a lot more hidden wonders like this still to come.